Greetings and welcome to the Astronomy Picture of the Day podcast. Today's picture is titled Comet R3 PanSTARRS over a Himalayan valley. So what do we see here? Well, looking off over the Himalayan mountains, we see Comet R3, also known as PanSTARRS. Now, the comet stretches up here from its head down towards the bottom, right between the two mountains there, and the tail stretching up off towards the top of the image. Now, the comet itself, we've been looking at this over the last week or so, has brightened significantly and in fact is at the edge of visibility with the unaided eye, meaning that if you were at a very dark site, you would be able to see the comet, and that would be the head of the comet. You wouldn't see the whole thing as you're seeing it here. The only way to get an image like this is to use a camera. Now, as you can see, we're not using a telescope here. This is actually a wider field view taken just with the camera that would then point out at the sky, and you would leave the exposure open for a longer period of time, sometimes taking even more exposures and then combining them together to make one single image. And that is how a lot of images like this are done. You take a longer exposure, which brings out far more detail than your eye could ever see. We'll notice that with the stars as well. Look how many stars you can see here in this small portion of the sky, and certainly you can't see near that many if you were looking at the sky yourself. And it wouldn't matter how dark the sky was, it's simply that some of the objects are too faint to be picked up by your eye, and you need a longer exposure, sometimes minutes, sometimes even longer, taking an hour exposure to bring out fine detail in an image. Now, the comet itself made its closest approach to the sun yesterday, so it is the most energized by the sun, and its tail will be very prominent, and it will be relatively bright. Over the next few days, it's actually going to be approaching Earth. Now, it's not getting anywhere near Earth. It'll be many millions of miles away from Earth, even at its closest, but the closer it gets, the brighter it will appear. However, the problem is that it will be moving closer to the sun. It will get lost in the glare of the sun and be very hard to see. Towards the end of the month, it actually should be visible again. Right now, you can see it in the northern hemisphere, in the east, just before dawn. But again, don't go out looking for something like this. If you can see anything and you have a really dark site, you might see just the head of the comet. With the camera, you can pick up significantly more. It will then get lost in the glare of the sun, and when it reappears, it will be visible in the southern hemisphere after sunset. So, a chance for those south of the equator to be able to see the comet, and of course we won't know how bright it will actually get until that time, until it reappears from the glare of the sun, and we will see whether it brightens significantly more, or if it does not get as bright as that we hope it will. What we do know is that as we head into May, it will start to fade. It will get farther from the sun, farther from the Earth, as it heads out of our solar system altogether. So that was our picture of the day, titled Comet R3 PanSTARRS over a Himalayan valley. We'll be back again tomorrow for the next picture, previewed to be different mountains. So we'll see what that is about tomorrow. And until then, have a great day, everyone, and I will see you in class.